My name is Ali. I'm 32 and I live in Tehran. I was born in 1974, 4 years before the revolution, and I grew up in Tehran. My parents, both of them were and are religious people, and both of them were in the heart of revolution. My first very special day that I remember is the day that Ayatollah Khomeini came back to Iran from Paris. And you know, we were a family, such a family who was involved in this atmosphere, you know, some revolutionary family. I was about 9, 10, I don't know. My father gave me to Khomeini's house when he was alive. Those days, Khomeini used to speak for the soldiers who were going to Iran-Iraq war. And it was a strange space. You know, the soldiers come and the leader on the top and his speech and all of it was like a, you know, such ecstasy for them, you know, listening to their leader and then go to the war and have war with the enemy and US. I was there once, and after the speech, we went inside the city, and we saw Khomeini from very close, you know. Oh, and Ayatollah Khomeini, used to put his hands on my head, and you know, it was great. And my father asked me to kiss his hand, and at that point, I was shocked, you know, because I always saw him in TV, and I thought that he's some sort of actor that sometimes I can see him in movies or in TV. And that day, he had a great charisma, you know what I mean, you know. When I saw him from closely, it was a great experience. A part of the thoughts and the religious things and these kind of political things, he had a great charisma, and I believe that if he had not this personality, this kind of character, he couldn't run Iran in this way, you know. But that point, that day, it was maybe the first day of my life that I was starting to thinking why I should kiss the hand of this man. Who is he? And the day that he died, it was a strange day. And that day I cried a lot, you know, because I guess many of Iranian people had many sympathies with him, Ayatollah Khomeini. You know, he was old, his face was kind, and he used to speak about very simple things. He has nothing to do. He had nothing to do with philosophical things, and great problems. He was just a simple man, and many of people had many great sympathies with him. Even now, I cannot insult him, and even my friends that they have nothing to do with in these things, they have some kind of respect to this man, Ayatollah Khomeini. The ideal hijab in point of view of and the Islam point of view is chador. It's of course it's an Arabic tradition that and it's not Iranian. There are many styles of using these kind of things between the women. If she works for a governmental organization, she has to wear a long mantle and in gray colors. They are not permitted to wear sharp colors such as red, blue. They're just allowed to have gray colors. But these days you can see some fashionable dresses that these are certainly not hijabs. You know, they're fashions and they are great and they are beautiful. It's some new version of Islamic hijab that make our government's crazy, and they are worried about what the hell is this, and this is not hijab, this is not hijab. You know, little scarves, very heavy makeups on their face. And it's nice, it's some fashion we invented here for ourselves. And you can see many young people here in Tehran, boys and girls, who look like that rappers, and you know. I can tell you that the big difference is it's bodybuilding clubs. Yeah, that they make boys very blub blub blub. It's not about showing themselves. It's not just about showing. It's just not sexual. They are on free air. They can, you know, for example, in the hot Tehran summer time, it's terrible to, for example, wear a chador or a heavy hijab, and they're just trying to find a solution. They are, I can say, brave. They are enough brave to have this kind of dressing. People have bad looks at them, you know. Many of them are seen as bad girls, or, you know, street girls, but they are not. You know, they are not, and they are just a new generation. It was 1992 when I entered the university. There were many strict rules in the society and in the universities. The boys had to keep their hair short. We weren't allowed to wear jeans, t-shirts. And about the girls, they had to have a strong hijab, Islamic hijab covering, and keep their hair completely covered, and wear a chador or lying mantos. They had not permitted to have any kind of makeups, and if a girl had a makeup, she had to clean it when she wanted to come inside the university. They were very hard about the relations between boys and girls. You know, we had two separate staircases. You know, one for men and one for women, boys and girls. Many of our classes were separated. We couldn't have any kind of relation with each other, you know, boys and girls. If you went to talk with a girl, they called you and asked you about why you do this, what kind of things you have with this girl, and it's forbidden. My wife is the first girl I've ever met. We were classmates, but I was always seeing her from afar. What a pretty girl. Oh. And I wanna make a friendship with her. And it was hard to find her somewhere in university, so I had to find her outside the university and follow her. There were no other option for me. Our friendship was forbidden, was illegal, and many times, I guess 4 or 5 times, they brought us to the jail for having relation with each other and beat me. It was the worst days of New Iran, I guess. It had many effects on our personalities, and our characters. Our families were very worried about this kind of relation. They were always afraid of bad things, but it was nothing. It was it was very simple, very natural, and it was the story of my generation. These days it's not the same. You can see boys and girls in the street. They have a very free relation with each other, and nobody has nothing to do with them, and it's wonderful, because I thought that okay, these are normal people like us, and maybe they want to have a chat with each other and enjoy their life, and these are new images, Cafe was not separated. It was the strangest point for me, because this is the main place for making relation, making friendship, and it was not separated, even in Tehran University. It was nice to see their boys and girls sit on the ground, chat with each other, enjoy their life, talk about usual things, the daily routine things, and they're talking about daily life. There's no need to the big problems to think about. In the streets, you can breathe the atmosphere of a religional, conservative, and totalitarianistic government on you. You can feel it on your shoulder. If you want to shake hand with a girl, you must be aware of what people gazes, people, it's. You cannot feel ease in the streets. You know, maybe it's nothing in the streets, but the atmosphere is it's something. It smells bad, you know. The cafes we have here are very, how can I say that, very virtual. These places such as restaurants and cafes are not real spaces here in Iran for many of people. Because of forbidden things, for example, women have to have their covers there, they are not easy there. Daily life is so boring and so the people got so tired here in daily life because the expenses are high and it's hard thing to earning money to live here. We lost kindness in the society, we lost friendships, we lost good relationships. People are strange together here. When you walk in the streets, the gazes are not good, they are all strange. It's hard to find a friend in the streets. I guess the biggest effect is making the people apart each other. In the streets, you just want to go ahead without any look to your sides and go to your path. In the morning it's office, and after that just go back to home and know when you arrive home the life is starting. The life starts. Put out this cover, drink the alcohol. It's so easy to find alcohol stuffs here in Tehran. Just you need just one call, and you can have any kind of brands you want. You want to, for example, vodkas, wines, whiskeys, any kind of things you want. They are available here in Tehran just by one call. And you can find anything you want, any kind of thing you want just by a call. Even drugs. You can find any kind of drugs, heroin, grass, I don't know, ecstasies, just by one call. Iran has the highest rate of heroin addicted people in the world. The rate was 3% of the population, and if you wanted to count the people who use grasses or ecstasies, the rate is so higher than this. You can find some places here that they give money to police for making the place safe and have their own security, and then they run big parties with music, with live music, DJs, and a big group of people. In these so-called underground parties, I can say the fashion is, using drugs, of course drinking alcohol, even orgies. It's very common especially north of Tehran, running this kind of parties. The most favorite music is the same anywhere else: techno music, hip hop music, and rap music. and trance music. Our life is start in evening. We replaced our outside and inside places. In your home, you can have the things you want to have. Be easy with the friends, you know, speaking and talking about daily events, talking about news, political things, cultural things. Most of them are cultural things. New movies which we have seen. Most of the Iranian directors who are well known in the West, they are not favorite filmmakers here in Iran. I guess it's because of the type of the images that the well-known Iranian filmmakers they are shown in their movies, and these images are more interesting for the Westerners than the other ones. They don't give a real image of our daily life. We have many strict rules here in cinema. You know, cannot show many things in a movie, but it makes some kind of metaphoric and symbolistic way. For example, in Kiarostami cinema, many of the young directors try to make copies from Abbas Kiarostami's style, and it seems they are interesting for Western festivals. Even Mohsen Makhmalbaf, I should say, and his movies, they are not shown real images from Iran, you know. Jafar Panahi is someone that always try to give a trashy image. How can I say? When you start to knowing Tehran from Jafar Panahi's movies, you think Tehran is a city full of full of shit. There's some details that they are not true, and I think these details are the certainly things that make interest for Westerners. They're not real image, you know, especially in details, you know. For example, there is a girl in the circle that her biggest problem is smoking in the streets. You know, of course, it's not easy for doing many things here in Tehran, but smoking a cigarette, no, it's nothing. It's not a problem. We don't want that pittiness, right here. These movies, these kind of movies, for example, Jafar Panahi, just make some pittiness to the society. I think that we have just one big director that who makes good movies and believable movies about Iranian mid-class society that is the biggest part of our society, and he is Dariush Mehjoui, and unfortunately he's so unknown in the West. He is the only Iranian director who can give you a real image of a mid-class society of Iran. especially after Iran-Iraq war, that society, that the society became a little more liberal, with arriving the satellites, the newspapers, internet, and you know, uh, there were some kind of the windows to the world, because Iran was a very closed country. We started to make connection with the world and see how is the outside, and so like many youth people, we changed. And nowadays not me and none of my brothers or sisters, they are no religious. It starts from wearing clothes and go to many other aspects, in thinking, in reading, in watching a movie. And after these 27 years, near 30 years after the revolution, we are trying to find a way for living, just for living, Iranians are different from the people of Iraq or Afghanistan or many other places. They are not happy with those kind of images you can see from Iraq or Afghanistan in the media. They don't want this kind of images from their country. Many of mid-class and upper Iranians, they hate pettiness from the West. If you walk in Tehran streets, problems are different from that kind of problems that medias in the West try to make them big. Yes, we don't have many simple human rights here. The right of writing freely, free papers. Being with this situation, living with this situation, dealing with it, teaches us that how we can find another way. Okay, this is our life, this is our government, and we want to try to live with it, to make a deal with it, to find our ways in it. Yeah, because I believe that in the moment of death, there will be just me and myself and nobody else. And I should be satisfied with myself in that moment.